From this dudette, woman queen, from
Yes,
her
I'll take it.
experience, talk to us. What are those tools? What do people need to do to become that effective organizer?
They have to have justice for themselves first.
A P. Yeah, yeah. They Mr. Owe me like Aaron, what happened? I can't go backwards. This my new chapter. Move to Atlanta, them trappers and scammers. I pray for my youngins. You talking about practice? On the track, I go ape like bananas.
Peace, 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 beautiful family. This is Dr. Walter Hidalgo, and this is the Know That Shelf podcast. The Know That Shelf podcast utilizes the metaphor of the shelf in order to extrapolate the self. And the way we do that is we invite guests to share something about them shelves. And before I introduce my guest, check out the website, www.knowthatshow.tv, and there you'll find information about the workshops, to get a copy of the book, Beyond the Four Walls, The Rising Ministry and Spirituality of Hip Hop, which my guest is mentioned in it because she's part of the movement. As we always do, I also like to give a big shout out to a group of individuals. And today, I want to give a big shout out to my Chi-Town family.
That's what's up.
I gotta say, it's my second favorite city after, New York, but Chi-Town is so special. I don't know if I ever told you, but I feel like if LA and New York had a child, her name would be Shy. It's like urban, but like spread out like LA, and it's just, I love it. I want to give a shout out to all my, we call them now bar lords, MCs, lyrical monsters. I grew up with them. I consider myself one when I have the time. But golly, when I see some MCs, it's no different than hearing the Bible. It's just these words of wisdom. Wow, it's beautiful. I want to give a shout out to all my educators. Anyone, I don't care if you're homeschooling. I don't care if you're doing it at a church building in the basement. I don't care if you're doing it in front of the Harvard, or, in the classroom. There's no better vocation and purpose than to and responsibility to distill information to someone's brain. That's like a huge responsibility. And if you do that, please do not take it, for granted. I want to give a big shout out to anyone that invests in our community. I don't care if it's financially, mentally, spiritually, socially. I think that's extremely important nowadays, where although we're trying to find our tribe, we need to unify the universal one, because I got with me someone that I respect, I admire, I love, and I'm proud of her. Teresita, La Tere, Ayala. Peace.
Bendición. Love. I'm
You.
proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, you figuring it out every day. That's so exciting.
Every single day,
That's so exciting.
Oh my God, with humility, and love and respect.
Come on.
And mother effing dignity.
That part, that's critical. That's resistance.
Yeah, it's really powerful because we come from that. We come from that. I was just giving this presentation. It was called Spirituality, Resistance, and Liberation.
Nice.
We serve I remember a Jesus that flipped tables, right? The Maroons in Jamaica flipping tables, Jacobins flipping tables, Tainos flipping tables. All right, so let me stop. So
right there. No, right there. Like stop.
It's powerful. It's in our DNA, and it's important in a world that is really being shaken up now. So as we always do, I want to contextualize stuff because I know La Tere for a minute, followed her for a minute. She is family. Wow. So I like to contextualize stuff. So if we were to step into, let's do Back to the Future, the car. We get in the car.
Okay.
We go back in time to a younger Teresita. You know, what would we see? What would we hear? What would we smell? Because you are originally from
Chicago.
Chi-Town. Stand up, yo.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
But my parents, right? But I'm Boricua.
That's right.
But my
Were you
first
born
generation.
in PR?
No, I was born here
You
in
were
the
born in the
mainland.
Okay.
In the belly of the beast.
Yeah. Literally.
Straight up. So just take you to a spot, just park you somewhere.
Yeah, what comes to mind? Like, if we were to go back in time, what would be a spot? What would we see you doing? What would be happening? What's the plan?
It would be 11, 12 years old in Humboldt Park, already like moving around in different community organizations because my parents were teachers. So in the neighborhood, in the same neighborhood in Humboldt Park, and I went to school in Humboldt Park. Didn't go to the school they worked at, but I didn't have another choice, which I was blessed. That's my privilege. Was just like hopping around doing Aspira and doing the Chicago Boys, the Boys and Girls Club, or the Chicago Park District, or like young authors. Just having access based on the privilege that my parents were. We were probably a little bit more middle class than most of the community because they were both educators. Not that much, but we just had a little bit more and a little bit more structure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be me, like hopping around to different, like getting picked up and dropped off, and learning about like the Taino life, and learning about awareness, analysis, and action about Antonia Pantoja, like the Puerto Rican political prisoners. Very, very, very young, and it was very early on.
And you come from a place, yo. Chi-Town, the history. If you do the history, family, like,
It's
oh
nice.
my God, where Dr. King walked, home of jazz, like the Puerto Rican movement and the struggle, the vice lords, the young lords, it's a very, the home of
Al Capone.
organizing, Al Capone.
Yeah, like
So much. It's a gumbo.
mobsters.
And so many different ethnicities and struggles. The birthplace from a black man that birthed a city.
Yeah. I was
Dude,
just
dude,
thinking
that-
about him. Yeah, Dusavo, yes.
What does that mean for you as a Chicagoland native, and how has that influenced the work that you do out there?
If it wasn't for me being in a Puerto Rican community, and that was political, like that was created off of just trying to exist, and right, like gentrification, like not just being being displaced from where you actually landed here in the blizzard, to having to move to and establishing a community, to then being pushed out because it's so close to the lake. So now you're being moved into more inner city. Right. That energy in itself is the energy of the people, is like trying to figure out how to not be displaced again and again and again. Because most of them, even though they moved from Puerto Rico here for a better opportunity, it's still displacement.
Right.
Why would I have to leave my place to go to a whole other place with a whole other temperature, experience PTSD on another level?
Oof.
I mean, like, bro, like, so the level of trauma of my community, I mean, extremely like resilient would be one of the words, right? But it's, as a young person experiencing, did you ask like as a young person, or just as where I'm at now, how it shaped me to where I am now?
Yeah, Can
I connect that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. So as a young person, that's why I'm able to say, man, super privileged, because I was in a Puerto Rican community that was talking about Palestine while I was 11 years old. We were already talking about Palestine and connecting this colonial, right, the colonization and all of it. We were connecting these two places that just so many similarities about occupation, right, around occupation, and the solidarity that we had with our Palestinian community that is huge in Chicago, right? So doing the work. But I mean, Rainbow Push Coalition, I mean, it's the Fred Hampton, the Black Panther Party, the Young Lords, I mean, being in then the gangs, right? Just being a part of Mayor Harold Washington, having a black mayor that was straight up like the Lozano family that was murdered, right? Like Rudy Lozano that was murdered. Like, so being raised with the children, that's my life has been being raised with the children of, or the family members of, and being one of them, right? As a daughter of migration. Right. I was born here, but I'm still the daughter of migration. Like, it's just like, the city has been a city of just surviving, but also of some incredible brains. And so like that magic of these incredible brains, and that there were enough people that had incredible brain power and like this will and desire to want and to like fight for, it was like, that's what's kept us alive, honestly. And we have died in masses.
Yeah. Many times,
but we are still here. People are still active. And so how did that shape me? It just gave me I say in the track, I ain't never been the shy type, because in the shy type, right? Like the shy.
I was just listening to that joke.
Yeah, I ain't never been the shy type, because in the shy because in the shy you the slang or grab the mic right. So if you're thinking I'm a fail, get your mind right. I'm a Shy City champ in the limelight. Like there is no option. And when you have education and you are like placed in a space where you are being literally inoculated all day around the politics of your people.
Yeah.
Like if you have enough structure to gather, or people that are woke enough to like want to mentor or have the capacity to like a desire to mentor, then I mean you're creating a million more brains, right, with this focus on resistance and understanding the existence is resistance, right? This preservation, the preservation of our cultura, the preservation of our like fight to like that it's our birthright to live where we want to live, that, you know, the borders have crossed us, that no one is illegal, like all of these things. Those were the conversations when we're trying to free political prisoners, and I'm 13 years old, I'm 17 years old, I'm 22 years old, and I'm like literally at the state capitol. I mean, not at the state, at the capitol in Washington, like asking for the liberation of like the parents of my friends or the tios of my friends.
You know what's so beautiful? I'm listening. Oh my God! First of all,
it makes me so emotional.
Yeah, no. So I hope,
and that's okay. And that's okay.
No,
like,
yeah,
the story.
It's a part of it. Yeah, you're supposed to. You're supposed to.
Yes.
And the reason I had to sort of interject, just
no, it's okay. Please.
It's in some ways I'm just like, wow, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I didn't get that, right? Like for me, it was later in life. I've always been a seeker of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you know, and I get it from both my parents. But both my parents, particularly my mom, in the case of the things that you're saying, is that, you know, you were groomed in this. My mother was directly impacted by it, I guess, right? I mean, for like me. So my grandfather, her dad was killed because he spoke about what was happening in Guatemala. And that's what forced my mom to leave. And, you know, it represents 250,000 indigenous people that were killed, and it's written in a book called Nunca Más that talks about the silent, what we call the silent genocide. Now, I'm not saying that your parents were impacted. Of course, they were impacted. You're talking about the migration and thing, but my parents never spoke about it till I asked my mom. Finally, my sister did actually, and we were like 10, 11. Yo, what happened to, we call him Papatino, and she started to cry, and she goes, they killed him. And I never really understood that. And then I stayed with me, like, what does that mean? Growing up in the hood, I go about my business, blah blah blah. But it wasn't until I got to graduate school,
Wow.
and I went to Union Theological Seminary in the city, and I started making the more of a spiritual connection, but just reading up more of my history. But I would say even a little before that, because before undergrad and grad, I did go on a self-exploratory journey. So I would say I was like between 22 and 25. And I think that's where I got it. The food you were getting earlier, I got it a little bit later, but I was really in, tears. Like, I started to feel like, wow, I'm part of something special, yo. Like, I'm really part of something special.
For real.
I don't know why I feel drawn. Like, God is drawing me to do something. I don't know if I can pick up a gun and Che Guevara it, right?
But some
Sometimes
justice.
we feel like doing
some
that.
form of justice.
Right. But let me at least be mentally equipped, so when I'm in these spaces and places, I know what time it is, and how to come at it a little bit more. Even now, more so through emotional intelligence, because I'm a little worked up. I'm hearing you talk because I'm saying all this to say that, I met you when I was interviewing about seeing hip hop as a spiritual tool, part of this social spiritual movement, like of when people gather together of all walks of life, no matter their spiritual cup of tea, they're gonna come together and they're gonna change the world. And I saw the culture doing that, and I saw you being one droplet of this big ocean. But golly, that freaking droplet is amazing. And I met you through, this beautiful thing called hip hop. As I've met so many. I mean, that was the direct link, right? But of course, it opened up doors and just avenues of information. And through obviously social media, I followed you, and I'm like, damn, look what she's doing. Yo, that's what she's about. Yo, she does this, and it's like, wow, it's like, that's the other kind of like spiritual synergy through social media. We're able to cross those boundaries.
That's very true.
I'm going long-winded with this because it's like I'm a fan, I'm a fan, and I'm so humbled, right? Like when I meet people that I see, because my mama, I always say my mom always tell me, like,
bendición to your mama.
Oh, I love my mom, man. My dad too, they're still together. And I know you're very family oriented because we come from that, right? God, family is the closest thing we have to God in the beginning of our early stages of life. They are God to us, right? But anyways, I want to know, because you obviously use this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you were being groomed throughout your life. And I think what it looks like, the way I met you, one way you amplified that is through the culture. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Higher infinite power healing our people, as I call him, the Pope of hip hop.
I love it.
Chris is my brother, but I met you, and I heard you, and I was like, yo, because for me, like, it's
thank you.
Like, no, thank you. Like, I think that's why it's very important that we talk about these things, especially, Dr. Tyson, who was a psychologist. He put together the first hip hop and psychology conference at Fordham. That is, and he was like, we need to document this stuff because, we need it. We need this food. So, you started Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen. I saw you were at work, and just this, like, this is being recorded right now on a Sunday, right? For some, that's Shabbat, this is their day of rest. For me, I adhere to my Shabbat on Sundays. I rest, but where two or more gathered, they say the Lord is present. But I want to go deep into with you.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
want to start off, I want to break it up in two. But first, I want to talk about hip hop, right? How did it come into your life? Why hip hop? You use the art of the MC to amplify your voice. What is hip hop?
Well, now as a 45-year-old woman, I would say that hip hop was my therapist, and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
That's really what it, like, I didn't know that I was going to run into this thing that was going to give me an opportunity to say whatever it is that I wanted to say, and that I wasn't going to be judged, at least not by the immediate community, which is really all that mattered to me. And so it really was a lifesaver, because I was able to literally with the wild life that I experienced that I didn't get to share, but my father ended up, one of his favorite people, his favorite young people, the son of a co-worker of the school that he had been working for, the person who had taken him on when he migrated here and gave him the apartment in the basement. Her son was murdered, and my father was the first one on the scene, and he had literally his head blown off.
Oh.
And my father was the first one on the scene. And so that changed the trajectory of our life. I mean, you will never be the same person after that. How do you cope with that? And so because of the change, the shift in our life, it was like going from everything to having pretty much nothing, because how do you manage that? And you're not even in your own land. You're somewhere else where you're experiencing this violence. He had already experienced violence because he was a Black man here. It was different than experiencing being a Black. And this is really important stuff to put into context, because I have a Black, a Black father and a white passing mom. Like, it's just that's so. When everything changes and shifts there, I didn't know that I had so much stuff built up from everything that I had experienced, and all of those transitions and the difficult transitions that happened that made us go from having a pretty decent life to like then becoming the people that we were used to serving.
Right.
And that is where hip hop kind of takes it comes through, sipping on gin and juice, and like, right, the way that it showed up in my community. It wasn't conscious hip hop that showed up in a tape for me. It was tapes back then, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was Snoop Dogg, like, on a tape, like, and to move forward from that space, I was a part of a salsa band during high school, and that was the piece that was the catalyst that would give me the understanding that hip hop was even something that was available to me. I never considered hip hop. I mean, I Spanish speaking, my parents, they were teachers and spoke English, but we spoke Spanish at the crib. We were still Mac Boricuas, like salsa, like, so my watching Spanish TV, like, hip hop was an American thing. I wasn't American until kind of like hip hop comes into my life at 13. So, and I know, and I didn't have big brothers here. Like, we're the only ones here from our family. My parents migrated here, and everybody else was in Puerto Rico. So I didn't have like the primos and the stuff that were already here that were like, no, all my primos were in Puerto Rico. We went back to Puerto Rico every chance we could. So hip hop was just a different, it supported my becoming more American, and also identifying as a black girl here even though I was like, I knew I was a black girl home, but I was like, here, I'm like, oh, I'm black. Okay, got it. I got it. Because here I'm just Puerto Rican. I don't know how to break that down. It would take a lot, some more time, but Black American almost, right? That African American culture from here. So that in itself was like a huge moment the point was that I was doing salsa, and salsa in high school, that was to keep us from being in the street. So the high school, Roberto Clemente High School, had a salsa band, and I was a lead singer in the salsa band called Son del Barrio. We're from the hood. It was like resistance salsa, talking back to like the media, because we were like the number one school, one of the worst schools in the city, dropouts. They had us plastered. Like the media war on us was terrible because they wanted the location, because we were the beginning of gentrification was then, right? Mm-hmm. They wanted us out because we were beginning to buy buildings and establish ourselves in a way that was not good for the city, right? So that's all important. And so hip hop, I do the salsa, then I actually go away to college. And when I get onto my college campus is kind of where hip hop just showed up, because then I was around. It showed up that I could be a part of it, because in high school, hip hop was more gang related.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, and as a girl, I just had and I couldn't hang out with the gangbangers like that. Like my parents were teachers, like that was just not I have friends, but I couldn't hang out because we knew what can happen, and they were like, it was just what it was, there were rules. And but I lost 14 of my friends during high school. So like vigils and stuff like that, I really couldn't be a part of, because the city is wild. And if you go to somebody else's vigil, being a neutron, which is what we call it here, somebody that's not a part of any gang, you would be putting yourself in that position. So I didn't know how much stuff I had built up. Then I go away to college, the salsa part. It supported me in like learning how to kind of freestyle, soñando. I was freestyling at the Puerto Rican parades and the bandera, festivals, and the Puerto Rican, the Puerto Rican festivals with the salsa band. So I go to college, and college is where I'm like now in a cipher of a little bit a safer space, safer kids, right? Young people that loved hip hop, and I knew how to sing and I knew how to soñar. And so I connected with Rad Stars, from which becomes Rebel Diaz later, right. Rodrigo. And I was always just kind of like doing the hooks and like playing around until I got comfortable. And I would like freestyle a little bit, but it wasn't inventado, nothing serious. And then, and then it became a thing. We didn't finish college. We never finished. Speaking for myself, I didn't finish school. And because I had a lot going on back home by that time, everything had kind of blown up from that experience that my father had. But hip hop basically gave me that outlet. It gave me that opportunity to like get these raw emotions out and say them. And nobody was judging me. It was like, damn, and I was able to also perform, like it wasn't just singing or just, I was able to like feel the entire thing with my hands and with my body, and like how I dressed, and like it just, I fit right into it. And it like sucked me in literally, and was like, you belong here. And then we moved to New York City, and then Rebel Diaz takes place, and we open up an arts collective. And so it's
shout out to Rebel Diaz, by the way, all the collective, all yes. Man.
So it gave me a space to reduce harm on myself.
Ooh, wow, whoa, okay, so
it supported me in healing the harm.
Yeah, so let's. Yeah, I
know that was pretty long, but I really don't know how to condense that just yet.
No, I think it's actually perfect, because it's very fitting, because I asked you before hitting that record button, and I liked how you began the conversation with, how this art form was healing you. You didn't even know it, right?
I
And we
didn't
were
even
talking
know it.
about during this time that we're in of it's a lot of turmoil, I mean, we are being bombarded. I mean, if it's not, what's happening in, I don't like the term Middle East, but for the sake of geography, right? Like what's happening all over in our world. For me right now, and a lot of the research I'm getting into because of the work is transhumanism, right? Like
Ooh.
what's happening with the shift of technology and
Oh
our
my
world,
goodness.
right? It's a different world we're living in, right?
Oh my goodness.
Right. But
I'm like, we need to talk about that at another point too, because that's just
yeah,
great. But I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm like,
yeah,
that made me really excited because I'm like, this is great. I want to talk to you about that.
yeah. But even before we get that, I pulled it up the quote because sometimes I say it incorrectly, or I mix up the words. But we talked about hip hop, and I like how you finished it off with some healing, and I do want to talk about that. But probably one best way to heal thyself is the soul. I mean, so I do want to talk about the spiritual part
Okay.
because I really want to pick your brain on this. Where you're at? Where's your heart in this? So let me
Do it.
let me open it up with for my brother, the philosopher and Jesuit, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorite quotes. You probably heard it, but I'm gonna say it. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. I know you know it. What is spirituality? I want to go.
Huh.
Where's your head with that? Like, what was? Where's your head with that one? Because it's so many things to so many, and
I mean,
hear it from you, goddess.
yeah, I mean, spirituality to me is just so dope because it's if I was to be like, oh, spirituality equals, well, for me, spirituality equals restoring sacredness.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Like that's the work.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I always want to be able to, like, I can use that to kind of reconnect. Like, as I'm having this human experience, I just use that to recenter me, or to I use spirituality to redirect me to my sacredness. Which a part of my sacredness is like living this world as a human, but like having this soul, having a spirit, having a soul is like oh man, this is good. Like harboring no anger, like refraining from judgment or harsh words, like never retaliate, like power, love, tenderness, purity, like harmonious homes, harmonious spaces, and that's what spirituality gives me. It gives me an opportunity to seek, to explore it, to find it, to tap into it, to play with it, to like make it my own. Yeah, it allows for me to be present in what it is that I know that I am.
As a reflection of the light. And that's why, what I love it is this other saying, I think it was from God, I'm forgetting because my memory, in life, you know what I mean?
It's okay. You know how many things you know? They say like a healthy person thinks 60,000 thoughts in one day. 60,000 thoughts. And like right now I'm talking to you, my hands are moving, I'm thinking about the next word I'm going to say, my eyes are blinking, my heart is pumping.
Our senses, it's like we are
60,000 things. There's 60,000 thoughts in one day, so it's okay to forget.
Yeah. And I'm saying that because with you specifically, there's another saying that goes, when preaching the gospel, use as less words as possible. And you when I saw you at Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen, I got the video still. It's online.
Wow.
The way you were very Moses, very moving the crowd. The way you spoke and how you empowered those women, or from all spectrums, was amazing to me. And I've been around, and
Thank you.
all praises due. And it's like,
Yes.
I know a lot of that entails logistical things, organizing, right? Like they say the devil in the details, right? It's the devil's always right there behind. Greatness, right? And you spoke about that day, and I was like, yo, you were still on it. And I want to also try to give folks some very tangible things as someone who I know who has not just talked the talk, but walked the walk, right? This work of getting the community together, man, it is no easy task. As someone once said, it's a very thankless endeavor. Because we put in our heart and souls into this, that I know, you know what I mean? And but I want to, the work still needs to get done. And now there's different tools out here, the social media tools, right? Different world, different times, different strokes for different folks.
For sure.
Maybe 1, 2, if you bless us. What makes a good community organizer, La Tere? You've seen it, you studied this, you are this, you come from this, Chicagoland. Probably one of the biggest places is, what is it, the IAF, Industrial Areas Foundation, started in Chicago, which teaches people from Solinsky is his name again?
I don't know.
Anyways, from you, Queen, as someone
that dude in them, like we say over here, dude in them.
That dude. But from this dudette, woman queen,
I'll take
experience, talk to us. What are those tools? What do people need to do to become that effective organizer?
They have to have justice for themselves first.
Ooh.
There's no way around that. I have the burnout, the sadness, the taking on other people's stuff and not having your stuff in order. The justice for yourself. Like the desire to heal yourself. Especially if you're a community organizer that's from your community, you are your own constituent.
Yo, word up.
Are you kidding me? There's nothing I could have expected from the moms that were working inside of our high school that were losing their sons. What the hell what bereavement expertise did we really expect from these people? They couldn't provide it. They weren't getting it from the Board of Education to support them, to be there for us. It was just let's put these moms in there to help with the gang problem. And it's kind of like, these ladies are dying inside, and they're watching us die of sadness because our friends are no longer at the lunch table bumping, on the table making beats, and they were in gangs. That was the life, that was a part of the cultura, but they were human, they were people. And so just this piece around the justice for yourself, what is it, being able to advocate for yourself first.
Yeah.
So that you could be well enough to and have the capacity, the emotional capacity, and the emotional intelligence to be able to navigate somebody else's feelings and chaos, and how destructive that is. So self-justice, I would say, and that encompasses this people say self-love, y toda esa vaina, that goes all under self-justice. It's advocating for yourself. And then the second one, I would say, to make they have to have a harm reduction lens.
Ooh.
Bottom line. You don't have a harm reduction lens, I don't know how we're gonna reduce violence in our community if you don't. And it doesn't have to be just restorative justice and all these terms that these people, you're this is bullshit. No, you have to, from que te tiene que nacer like this desire to not harm people. You have to, even with harm, have, you know, all the harm that you've experienced, that it just, you don't have that. Like, you don't have that desire to retaliate in a form that's gonna hurt somebody else, even if they did something bad to you. I think that's what makes the difference for me.
Yeah, no, that's one. So start within to work your way without. You know what I mean? I love what you said that. You know, and particularly in a time right now, because as we always do, we invite guests to share something that comes from their shelf. Let them. What you got? What you got for us? I'm so curious to know. I'm curious.
What I have over here with all the shows that I have.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's definitely a book.
Okay, give it to me.
It's like, it's 2 books, but I'll take 1 book. Actually, it was 3 books, but I'll take this one.
Such a scholar, my God. See,
nerd life. I love it. I'm the coolest nerd in my head. It's cool.
Right. Yeah.
It's all good. I just want to know. I want to know so I can support this world and being better, and so I could make better choices, so that I could participate as spiritual like refreshment. Like, I don't want to be a freaking abombao thing of water, podrido. Like, no, I want to refresh. I want you to feel like it's a flow of like the newest wine, the sweetest wine, right? Like the what is it? I have it right here. Joel 3:18. That's what I have, is the flow of the Holy Spirit. In that day, the mountains will drip new wine, sweet wine, and the hills will flow with milk, water. Water will fill the dry stream beds, and a fountain will burst forth in the Lord's temple, watering the arid valleys of Acacia. Come on. So, okay, Joel. Brother Joel. Like, I want to be that. So in the midst of all of this, right? Like, I don't even know how I got to that, but that was supposed to come out. So we're going to respect it. What was on the shelf is this book. And this book is called Cuentos de la Isla Presente. It's an anthology. And it was the Department of Public Instruction in Puerto Rico. And so my grandmother's story is here in this anthology, and it's called El Castigo.
El Castigo, the punishment?
Yep. And the Castigo talks about a man that came. So it talks about so this is firsthand passed down from my grandmother's grandmother. So like my bisabuela, at that point she's a tatarabuela. So my tatarabuela, Mama Matea. And Mama Matea told her this story. And so she wrote, and she won an award in 1954 at this place called El Ateneo Puertorriqueño. The Ateneo Puertorriqueño was, it's like the cultural institution of Puerto Rico at that time. And she's one of the first, I'm doing the research now, but it looks like she was probably the first Black woman to receive an award. The person that won the first and second place, she won third place, was a man. And she got third place. So, I'm in the research now. This will be her 100th birthday. So that's why this is really important. I'm doing genealogy is like my favorite thing, specifically around my grandma, because there's a school named after her in our hometown in Carolina. So Maria Teresa Serrano's elementary school, kindergarten to 5th grade. And our family, we're a part of like creating, community, supporting the community there. And my tia Teresita, my tocaya, she transitioned, Titi Cherry, and she's up there. She transitioned, kind of bring her to be seen. I'm like, okay, girl. Yeah. So Titi Cherry, bendición. Titi Cherry was she ran that stuff. The school next year will be 50 years old with the name of my grandmother. And this year's would have been my grandmother's 100th birthday. So we're doing a celebration at the school. It's like a big year thing. So this is it's just doing this work around my grandmother. And they named the school after her posthumously. And she was in the middle of, she had just uh, finished her dissertation and was going to present it, and she transitioned. So the work is there, and it belongs to me. Like, who else is gonna? So I'm like in the middle. And yeah, so I didn't finish college, but like my grandmother left me work to play in, to continue to develop. And so the story really quickly is just about our on our plantation where we live, the plantation, the community outside of the plant, or in the plantation, but you know, la barriada outside of the plantation where everybody works. And that my she's a chorna, which is like great grandmother. She was like the leader. She did the rosary. She was like the leader of that. She was the eldest person in the town when this story takes place. And it was about a man from Trinidad that came in to work in the plantation. And my chorna took him in as one of her own. And then it's like a whole story around how hard his experience was there and how connected she was to this man from Trinidad. And how important he was for like fighting for justice and his fight for justice for our people, the people on the plantation, got him. He was punished, and the way the punishment looks, the way that my grandmother writes it around what punishment sounded like, is so deep and like poetic. And so I'm just like, it's my grandmother's work was around preserving language, like Cesar Vallejo from Peru. That was who she did her dissertation on.
Oh, interesting.
Bro, it's delicious.
Wow.
She was a total genius.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like beautiful because that's what hip hop has been. I've been just preserving our community, our land, our language, how we connect, what is important, what are the things we need to talk to, being a street journalist.
Right.
A hood journalist, right?
Hood journalist.
So this is what's on the shelf. And so the second book though it's in 3 anthologies, and the books are no longer. So I've been going through the internet like a loca, and the third one is on its way. So I have original copies.
Wow.
Yes, to do my own, like to have, but also to do. I'm so excited about this. I know you could tell. But to be able to do my own research, because I have the actual, all the content, like all the information. So it's super exciting. That is what is on my shelf, bro.
You see what's crazy? Because remember I told you it wasn't till I asked the mom, where's grandpa? And then started reading, and then.
So you're doing.
Yeah.
Esto. You're doing this, like you're writing, like what you are gathering, what you have gathered, and what you will continue to gather is definitely this for me. Like for your grandkid, your grandkid, it'll be right. Like,
yeah, you know what's so funny that you said that, because someone told me, what you're doing, Walter, is amazing, because your daughter's gonna see this,
bro.
She's gonna be like, oh, this is what dad does. This is who he rocked with. And I'm like, why we do this for? For what? For who?
And that's really important because I don't have children, right? And at my age, whatever, that's not really a plan. So it's okay, because my work has been to literally travel the world and be with the kids in Palestine and the refugee camps, and be with the kids in Guatemala under the Incienso Bridge.
And right, like, you can always adopt, Mom. Don't forget, because I think about adoption too. That's always an option.
It is, but I'm taking care of my parents. I'm a caretaker for my parents. Those are my kids right now, and it is
definitely
a job. And it's almost 50 years together. So they have a particular way that they function that I have to navigate to not interfere, but I am caretaking for the two of them.
Yeah.
So that's when I tell you that God is perfect, I really mean that. Like that is my job. Like it's so beautiful. And I get to sit at the feet of my elders every day.
Yeah. All that in.
Ooh. I'm literally sitting there, right? And they're acknowledging their transitioning into ancestors. And I get to sit and like, I will always have this relationship with them because I know the details around their desire and their sacredness and how they know that God will restore their sacredness in that moment. Come on.
Yeah.
How could I not be shining right now?
That's right. That's right.
Why? Why would I not be excited about life?
Right. Right.
It's just like, you know, they have continued to like push that the excitement of life is being able to be a solutionary. Pues búscate the third option. La una y la dos, pues sigue por ahí because Dios va a obrar. Que sea lo que sea, pero que tú sepas que lo que sea es lo que es. Y pues tú sigues por ahí, but you don't give up. You're a cultural architect. You get to kind of like play around here and like figure out things to make this, to support in the restoration of sacredness of other people. When other people have tried to strip or have stripped you of that feeling that you are worthy and that you deserve recovery, you just deserve to breathe. I mean, like you think about George, I can't breathe. What? That somebody would feel that powerful? That and like over your life, and then they say que alaban a Dios and Jesus and all this, like it is a very, 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 I mean, the genocide that we are experiencing and like all of the normal is like how it's been normalized. And but this chaotic present moment that we are living in is so telling to, it's like the highest alert for those of us who have a particular frequency that came. And I thank you for listening, because it's like there's a lot that's been just developing in my spirit. I really appreciate it. But this concept, and I'm like, I'm in the middle. It's wild, but I had an idea, and then somebody was like, you have to make merch and all this stuff. And then I was like, this is not what I don't, but it was like, I have to do something with this. And so how do I present this to the world? So I'm going to share it with you. And hopefully whenever this, it'll come out. But like, I am a maestra del nuevo mundo. I'm in it. I'm here. We are, the nuevo mundo is right there.
Okay.
My parents, they're about to be on the other side at some point, and what I believe for the length of time that I have, I'm only 45. I am definitely a young elder.
Yes, a elder.
Right? And so in the spirit of that, I mean, the responsibility is to give yourself the name that you know that you are so that you can live in it. Like this imposter syndrome and this fear of like calling yourself what you know you're supposed to be, and people making it mean that you think it's like, no, I just have to go with what my mission, what was imprinted in my heart around my mission. So I now at 45, I understand that I'm a cultural architect, that I'm a healer, that I'm a solutionary, that I'm committed to like the restoration of sacredness in all of its form. And that like, if you use healing justice, self-justice, decolonization, harm reduction, then I will help the individuals in my community to break cycles of trauma, and then they'll be able to like reclaim their full freaking humanity. That's who I am. And I'm okay with that. And if other people are not, there's nothing I can do because yo estoy metida en esto.
I think the thing is, one wise person told me, like, because I always have this guilt, because and we didn't tap too much into this. I still want to hear your thoughts, because we did say this
off on that, pero
no.
Listening though, I needed to get. Thank you for being therapy today.
No, and this is why I kind of do this, because it's therapy for me too, and it's so like we always feel like we have to be doing something, but these things right here are, the phone is 24 hours, but we are not. And we need to step back, and there's a season for all this. And I'm hearing you because you're right, getting deep into your genealogy and probably even tapping into something way more deeper because you're tapping into your ancestor to help you to continue to do the work here. And people have to respect and honor that, and because there's a time and a place. We're getting a little older, and it's a young person's game. We know this, and we're here to
For sure.
We're here to kind of like be a guide, and because I love how you said that, because we're a Yelder. We're like old to the young people, and like young to the old people.
Old people,
right? Yeah, older people. Yeah, there you go. But speaking of that, one thing that I do always ask our guests is, what is that? Because all this wisdom you got, all this, my God, right? But we do this for the young person. We do this for the young people. You've always done this. Everything, everything to like. If you ask me like what you've been up to, always know I'm always with these young people. I'm always.
Oh, I know that.
And I know you are too, one way or another, right? So what is that one piece of advice you would get that young person with all the wisdom you got? What's that one solid one? Because who knows, there may be a millions of them now.
You went in and out. Can you say that last part?
Because somewhere in the world there's a little Teresita in the making, and she might need that, or he, that advice. So what is that advice you would give to that young person?
That's great. The advice that I would give to that young person is, this probably sounds so desto, but you are who you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Which is my track. I don't, June Jordan, like there's a lot of things I will not be able to do for you. But if you know that you are who you've been waiting for, then I can support.
Ooh.
You guide. You get to guide yourself, and I can support you and help you expand and grow and connect you and be a bridge, right? But you are who you've been waiting for. That's it. I don't have anything else to add to that.
I love it. It's great. It's beautiful. It's the best. It's a great response, because we are who we've been waiting for, man. I wanna do something, because I think I've only did this once.
Oh no! What is it?
No. It's because I see other people do this. With you. But I'm curious to hear what you got to say. So I'm just gonna throw out a word.
Okay.
And just say immediately what comes to mind, a thought, an image, right?
Okay.
So, family.
Laughter.
Palestine.
Oh, love.
Justice.
Fight.
Afro-Latina.
Beautiful.
Puerto Rico.
Cosmic.
Revolution.
Freedom.
La Tere.
Enchanted. That's cool.
That was it.
That's a fun exercise.
That was good, right?
Yes.
I like what you said about yourself too, girl. Caught you off guard with that one, right? As we always do, before I close with this quote, honored, so honored. My mom always says, I remember her, I can't talk to this God. God never talks to me. I'm always praying. She's like, one way that God speaks to us is through other people. So thanks for being that one of those people. I'm grateful. I'm honored. As Nori always does in the Drink Champs, he says, we got to give flowers to people while they're still alive. So I give you your flowers, your roses, your dandelions, your tulips, because I see God's light in you, and it's a beautiful thing. So I'm honored. We end with this quote, and it comes to us from an anonymous person. I don't know who said it, but it reads as such.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A woman who knows what she brings to the table is not afraid to eat alone. Yeah.
That is a word.
Peace, family.
Man, awesome. Peace.
I roll heavy with spiritual, lyrical lyrics that are imperial, peering through individuals. Y con ganas the female to Montana, bringing the boom, tengo más flow like I'm a Looney Tune. Diddy Doom, nigga, no, you would not beg me. My body was never fino, cause daddy was not a Yankee. Y con la sangre taína, fusión de pueblo y esquina. The rap of my Carolina, I got a dream that I mean. Just take a moment and breathe. And I'm gonna give you my story. I'm on the hood like I'm Taurus, soaring, deploring the futuristic annoying. I'm pointing it to the sky, cause the Lord is always before me.
I ain't never been a shy type, been a shy you